In this video, we will talk about humerus of the ox. The humerus of the ox is a long bone and it is situated obliquely downwards and backwards between shoulder joint above and elbow joint below. It has a shaft and two extremities. The shaft is twisted appearance and it has four surfaces or face. The two extremities are proximal extremity and distal extremity. Now we will talk about of shaft. Shaft's four surfaces. The shaft four surfaces are lateral surface, medial surface, anterior surface, and posterior surface. We will talk about lateral surface. The lateral surface is spirally curved in shape and it has muscular spiral groove. The musculoskeletal groove for brachialis muscle and continuous with posterior face above. The lateral surface is separated from the anterior surfaces by a distinct border called crest of humerus. The crest of humerus bears delta tuberosity above its middle. Now we will talk about medial surfaces. Medial surfaces. We will talk about medial surfaces. The medial surfaces in it straight in length, almost except teres tubercle that is present just above the middle. Now we will talk about anterior surface. The anterior surface is triangular in shape. It is wide and smooth above, narrow and rough below. Now we will talk about posterior surfaces. The posterior surfaces has nutrient foramen just above the middle. Now we talk about two extremities of humerus. The first one is proximal extremity, second one is distal extremity. Proximal extremity has head, neck, intervertebral groove or bicipital groove and two tuberosities. The head present a circular articular surface to form shoulder joint with glenoid cavity of scapula. The two tuberosities are lateral tuberosity and medial tuberosity of proximal extremity. The lateral tuberosity has two parts. The first anterior summit and second posterior convexity. The anterior summit is arching medially towards intertuberal groove. The medial tuberosity is smaller than lateral tuberosity and it has two parts also, the anterior and posterior. Anterior form medial boundary of intertuberal groove. In fact, intertuberal groove intertuberal groove is bounded by anterior part of two tuberosity and it is covered by a fibrocartilage in its life. Now we will talk about distal extremity. The distal extremity has oblique surface and divided by a ridge into two condyles. The first one is medial condyle and second one is lateral condyle. Medial condyle is larger than lateral condyle and it is crossed by a groove which extend into olecranon fossa posteriorly. It articulates with semi-lunar notch of ulna. Uh, in distal extremity, there are two fossas posteriorly olecranon fossa and anteriorly coronoid fossa. The olecranon fossa receive anconeous process of ulna during extreme extension. The coronoid fossa receive coronoid process of radius in extreme flexion. There is epicondyle present behind and above the condyle and they are thick ridges and they are two numbers, first medial condyle and lateral epicondyle. Medial epicondyle is more prominent and it bears a tubercle for attachment of medial ligament of elbow joint. The lateral epicondyle bears laterally the condylic crest, and the condylic is nothing but a raised ridge. We can say distal extremity also present a rough depression laterally and a tubercle medially for collateral ligament of elbow joint. This is anterior or cranial view of humerus. The anterior surface of humerus shaft is triangular in shape. It is wide and smooth above, rough and narrow below. We can say here this is the crest of humerus, and it separate anterior surface from lateral surface of humerus. We can say proximal extremity here. The proximal extremity has two tuberosity, medial tuberosity, and this is lateral tuberosity. Lateral tuberosity is further divided into anterior summit and posterior convexity, as medial tuberosity are also divided into anterior and posterior part. We can say here this is the intertuberal groove. Intertuberal groove is bounded by both anterior part of both tuberosities. We can say here this is the distal extremity. Distal extremity is divided by a ridge into two condyle. This is medial condyle and this is lateral condyle. Medial condyle is little bit larger than lateral condyle. In medial condyle there is a groove which extend up to olecranon fossa. This is olecranon fossa. In olecranon fossa, the anconeus process of ulna received during extreme extension. This is in olecranon fossa. We can say the anconeus process of ulna received. This is coronal fossa. During extreme flexion, the radius coronal process of radius received in this coronal fossa of distal extremity. This is the caudal or posterior view of humerus. The posterior surface has nutrient foramen just above middle of posterior surface. It is nutrient foramen. This is articular surface of head, and it articulates with glenoid cavity to form shoulder joint. This is the articular surface, and this is the glenoid cavity of scapula, and it articulates with the humerus to form shoulder joint. This is again olecranon fossa, and it is and it receive anconeus process of ulna during extreme extension. This is the lateral view of humerus and lateral surface of humerus shaft. We can say this is the crest of humerus. In middle of crest of humerus, it is deltoid tuberosity is present. The the lateral surface of humerus shaft is spirally curved. You can say spirally curved, and it has musculospiral groove. This is the musculospiral groove which extend above to posterior surface. We can say this is the medial surface, and this is the medial view of humerus. In medial surface of humerus shaft is almost smooth except teres tubercle. The teres tubercle is teres tubercle, and it is present just above the middle.